When you go to the Philippines, if you become a target of the people in the casino, no matter how much money you have, it will all end up in someone else's pocket. Today I will tell you the reason why you gradually become penniless. Even before you go, you owe people tens of billions. A South Korean billionaire. When traveling to the Philippines, a friend said he wanted to introduce him to a big boss in the Philippines. This person is Michael, the owner of the largest chain of hotels and casinos in the Philippines. Moreover, he said that in this land, this music is the most successful Korean. At that moment, the restaurant owner walked over. She saw Muzich there and immediately said that the meal would be completely free, deliberately giving Muzich the greatest face. In fact, all of this was orchestrated by Muzich. He was deliberately putting on a show for the unlucky billionaire. Muzich asked him which hotel he was staying at. The unlucky billionaire said that because the hotel was fully booked, he could only stay at a guest house. Muzich asked for the other party's passport and made a phone call to arrange a high-class hotel for the billionaire. He told his subordinate, Jungpa, about the passport information so Jungpa could check how much property this rich man owned. After checking, Jungpa discovered that the unlucky billionaire's total assets amounted to tens of billions of dong. He could even find out how many properties he owned. Furthermore, his work in the country wasn't legitimate, and he was their target. Soon after, the unlucky billionaire was arranged to stay at Muzic's hotel, and even in a room. The most luxurious billionaire secretly rejoiced in his heart because he had met a wonderful boss, but little did he know that he had fallen into someone's trap. After arranging the hotel, the man said he would take him golfing, but before leaving, he deliberately took him to a casino. The billionaire was stunned by the grandeur of the casino, but the man warned him not to gamble while traveling because if he was unlucky, he could lose a lot of money. Then he took the billionaire to the golf course. During the game, the man deliberately let the billionaire win because he kept winning, so the billionaire got bored and led the other way. The billionaire came to the casino with a suggestion. How about we play a small bet of 1,000? Okay, then Muzich still intentionally lost and said, today the billionaire is so lucky. Brother, let's go to your casino later. Muzich looked embarrassed and said, the billionaire is traveling, it's better to spend time with family, it's not appropriate to go to a casino. Oh, I told them to go shopping, that's fine. Besides, I'm just playing for entertainment, please. Just a little bit, and the billionaire fell into the trap. He was extremely happy. The billionaire thought, today I'm so lucky playing, so I guess I won't be too unlucky at the casino either. Before long, Muzich led him to the casino. This was also when the billionaire's friend completed his mission. He said he had something to do and had to leave. After he went outside, Muzich's man gave him some money. This was his referral fee. Just by bringing one person into the casino, that person is like meat on a chopping block. Muzich asked the billionaire how much he'd won the most. The billionaire said the biggest was 10 million, but then he lost. Muzich said that he once won 3 billion with 10 million. This made the billionaire green with envy. Muzich then called his men and told them to give the billionaire 20 million chips, saying that if he lost, it would be considered his money. After saying this, Muzich left, but not long after, his subordinate called Muzich. It turned out the billionaire had lost all his money and wanted to borrow another 50 million. Muzich told his subordinate to lend him the money and wait 2 hours. Muzich arrived at the casino and said he would take the billionaire out to play, but by then the billionaire had lost so much he was green with envy. How could he possibly agree to leave? Wait for me to finish playing here before you leave. I didn't expect my luck to be so bad. The worse my luck is, the more I should know I should leave. I'll leave after I finish playing. And with only this much left, how long can I play? So, can you lend me another 50 million? If I win, I'll pay you back immediately. Muzich said that if the billionaire didn't want to leave, then he would play with him for a while. With Muzich's participation, it seems the billionaire's luck is getting better and better in a short time. He has won a lot. He not only recovered what he had lost before, but also won back a lot of money. Actually, this was all a trick by those guys. They told the billionaire to stop playing and send all his winnings back to his country. The billionaire felt that Muzich was too generous, always worrying about everything for him. Not long after, the billionaire returned to his country. Muzich knew for sure that he would come back because Muzich understood human nature very well. Sure enough, only a few days later, the billionaire called Muzich and said that he would be coming to the Philippines in a few days. When he arrived in the Philippines, he said he would take him out to play, but the purpose of the billionaire's trip this time was very clear. He only wanted to go to the casino and gamble big. Soon, several days passed. Music saw the billionaire off at the airport. The billionaire was really lucky. This time he won hundreds of millions again. Waiting until the billionaire left, his subordinate asked Music why he hadn't cast his net yet. Music said, "Now is not the time because the billionaire hasn't reached the crucial point yet. If we cast the net now, we can only make a little change." That day, a wealthy woman from Korea came to the casino. This woman is not an ordinary person. She is the president of C, a wealthy woman at the top of the pyramid in South Korea. When the president of C was playing at the casino, Music and the boss Sejun personally stood aside because the president of C was playing big, at least tens of billions of won per game. Soon she had won tens of billions of won. The president of World requested them to launder the winnings and then transfer them to her domestic account. Music assigned the task to his subordinate Philip, but he didn't know that this money would stir up greed in Philip's heart, the person who has been with him for decades, and it will bring big trouble to Music. There is a group of people in the Philippines who specialize in finding potential customers for casinos. They specialize in scamming domestic victims into going to the Philippines to gamble. The casino owner will share a portion of the profits with them. From there, they approach the casino owner and say they have scammed new victims. Those two have scammed tens of billions of won domestically and are currently wanted by the South Korean police. Music immediately knew something was up. He likes customers like this the most. Okay. Wait a minute, they'll be getting off the plane soon. Let's do this. Later, I'll take my car to the airport to pick them up. We must make a good impression. After Kyung-do bowed to Mushish, he went straight to the airport to pick up his prey, but Mushish didn't know that this time Kyung-do would cause him a lot of trouble. After a while, Kyung-do picked up the two unlucky guests at the airport. After a brief exchange, Kumo asked them to get into his car. After seeing the luxurious limited edition limousine, both were surprised. Kumo said that there were only two of these cars in the Philippines. Both cars are registered in his name. Waiting until the two guests get into the car, there are traffic police clearing the way ahead. Actually, this is Music's car, specifically used to pick up customers. With this setup, it would be strange if he didn't show off. In the evening, Kung December said that he would introduce Music to a big boss. This person is the boss of the Koreans. Here, Kung December praised Music to the heavens. When Music invited them to dinner, he realized he had fallen into a trap because they were both con artists, and both sides were familiar with the tricks of the trade, the casino. So no matter what, he refused to go to the casino. Music called Kyung-do and told him to give up on these two. They are not easy to deal with. Kundo agreed, but Music didn't know that his ambition was very big. He had gone to great lengths to trick his prey into coming here, and he wouldn't give up halfway. Kundo planned to kill the two of them and embezzle their money. But he forgot one thing. These two were wanted criminals in South Korea, and the police had chased them here. They sent people to arrest them. At that time, they saw through Music's scheme, and Kyung-doek wanted the two of them to squander all their money at the casino. Kyung-doek was getting impatient, so he invited them to go out for a while, but the woman refused to go. She even said, "You want to trick two professional players like us? You're still too young and naive." After saying that, she slapped Kyung-doek in the face. Although they were very smart, they forgot one thing. They were not in Korea but in the Philippines. Kyung-doek ruthlessly buried them. He intended to bury them in the sugarcane field, but there was a year-round water shortage here, so the soil was very hard, leading to, unable to dig deeper, Kyung abandoned the two bags in the sugarcane field. At this time, Muse 11 was with the billionaire. The billionaire was now addicted to gambling. Before, he went to the Philippines on vacation, was introduced to a casino by a friend, and won a lot of money. Then he went to the casino again and won several billion. Now he is no longer as lucky as before. He is now deeply in the abyss. Music pretended to persuade him to stop gambling, but at this time the billionaire couldn't listen because he lost over 100 billion in the casino, so the billionaire wants to borrow money to play more and recoup his losses. He said he lost all his money. As the owner of the casino, he should be happy, not me. Did I force you to help me increase my revenue? I strongly discouraged you from continuing like this, and you're finished. Did I force you to go there to play? Did I take your money or profit from you? You're really too much. I sincerely wanted what was best for you, but in the end, you think of me as such a terrible person. This billionaire is the type who is being sold into slavery but still helps people demand ransom. Although he is a big boss of a leading enterprise in the country, the tricks of the outside world are too deep. The billionaire still doesn't know that from the moment he set foot in the Philippines, he had already fallen into a trap designed by Muzich. Even now, the billionaire still thinks Muzich is a brother who always thinks of others. If you are immersed in gambling, what is there for me to be happy about? I strongly advise you not to gamble. I sincerely consider you a brother. You must understand my feelings. I'm giving it to you. I also hope you'll win more. Even my subordinates can't stand it anymore. The unlucky Tai Fu said he would only play one last time, and he would definitely restrain himself. After saying that, he quickly entered the casino. Waiting until he left, Deng Pa came over and clapped, saying, "It's a real shame you're not an actor. If you could really restrain yourself like that, we would only earn a little bit of money. Don't worry, at this moment, at the Philippine police station, this police officer from South Korea is investigating 2 scammers. He doesn't know that the 2 have been arrested, but through his investigation, he found out that they were sitting in Mu's car at the casino. This police officer's name is Sung Hun. He asked if he could go investigate Mu. The Philippine police officer quickly stood up and said, 'It's best if you stay put.' Why do you say that? Mu isn't someone easy to mess with. Is he that powerful? He has very wide connections with high-ranking leaders, so it's best not to get involved with him. What do you mean by that? Is there no other way? I mean, we should stop this conversation right now. Music's reputation is very famous in the Philippines. Even the police are afraid to mention his name. At this moment, Kyung found Music. Muzich asked him what happened. Kyung didn't want to say but hesitated. Muzich, being experienced, understood immediately what had happened with just a glance. Have you dealt with them already? As soon as you walked in, it was filled with the smell of gunpowder. Did you use a gun? Kyung asked Muzich to save him. He didn't expect this was found so quickly. Muzich said he could help him, but he had to obey Muzich. Otherwise, he would be arrested by the Korean police. After saying that, Muzich went outside to make a phone call to arrange for someone to take Kyung-deok away. But Kyung-deok looked at Muzich and suddenly felt a murderous aura. He thought that Muzich would kill him and then seize all the money he had stolen. Waiting until dawn, Muzich arranged a car and let Kyung-deok get in. Kyung-deok suddenly said that he was just joking. He didn't kill anyone. After saying that, Muzich got into the car and advised Kyung-do to run away quickly, but Kyung-do said he was just joking. After saying that, he sped away, unaware that Muzich really wanted to save him, but he was too suspicious. Muzich also didn't know that Kyung-do's recklessness would get him into big trouble in a casino in the Philippines. The woman asked the waitress what color underwear she was wearing. The waitress looked at the boss, terrified, and replied, "Red, because this game is worth 40 billion dong." The chairman smiled, but the fact that they placed 40 billion worth of chips in the red squares, both casino owners were here to observe because the president of Ko was not an ordinary person. She was a top figure in South Korea. After the dealer dealt the cards, the president asked So-dung to blow the cards for her. When the cards were revealed, So-dung excitedly shouted that if the president lost this game, her life could be in danger. Luckily, the president won. Both owners had gloomy expressions because once the president won the money, she would stop playing immediately after signing her name. Requested Muzich to launder money for him and transfer it to a bank in South Korea. Muzich gave the money to Philip to transfer, but Muzich didn't know that his subordinate, who had been with him for decades, would betray him for this money. After a while, Muzich received a call from Philip saying that something big had happened. Philip said that So-dung had taken 40 billion and fled. Muzich was confused. Didn't I give you a task? He quickly returned to the casino. At this time, the chairman was sitting there and was extremely angry. She asked Muzich about business. How could such a large sum of money happen? I looked at my subordinate, Deng Ba, and it turned out that So-dung was Deng Ba's girlfriend. When Philip went to transfer the money, she insisted on going with Philip, and as a result, she ran away with the money. Muzich said he would definitely resolve this matter. The chairman scolded him and left. After she left, Muzich was so angry that his face almost turned black. He looked at Deng Ba, wondering where that woman was. Everyone rushed to So-dung's house to search. Muzich received a call and it turned out that we asked friends in Korea to investigate So-dung. After the investigation, we found out that So-dung was a con artist in Korea. She had been imprisoned twice for fraud. Music asked her if she had any family. His friend said she only had an elderly mother, but now she's also missing. After hanging up the phone, Music went to So-dung's room. At this time, Jung Pa and Philip had turned everything upside down but couldn't find anything. Moreover, So-dung had taken her passport. Jung Pa was about to go out to look for her again when Music stopped him, saying it was none of his business. "You're right, big brother. It's best if it's not you, but if you and she are in cahoots, I won't just hand you over to the police. Understand, big brother? Are you currently suspicious of me, big brother? I'm sorry for bringing her to the casino, but if you find out I'm involved in this in any way, even if you cut me into 100 pieces, I'll endure it. Pa is my brother. He's been by my side since Korea. I also hope he wouldn't betray me, but now I can't help but be suspicious because So-dung is Dung's girlfriend." He waited until Philip also left. Music was getting ready to go out when suddenly he remembered that Philip had hidden something. He stepped forward and took out what Philip had hidden. It turned out to be a lighter. Music, being experienced, sensed something was wrong. He went to where Philip was staying and saw women's socks and a lipstick. Philip didn't have a girlfriend, so why were these things there? Music opened the cupboard and unexpectedly found 2 passports there. Music opened the passports to check. To his surprise, one of them was So-dung's passport. He immediately understood that it was Philip who had. Betraying himself, he suddenly received a call from an illegal money handling shop in the Philippines. This person said that So-dung had come to his place and wanted to transfer money. It turned out that Music had mobilized all his people to send notifications to all major private banks in the Philippines. Although So-dung was a scammer, she underestimated Music's reputation, thinking that just going to another small city in the Philippines would allow her to quietly send the money back. Unfortunately, she was wrong. Even more mistakes. This could cost her her life. After Music found out So-dung's location, he called Philip, who was still at the casino. He was very worried. It turned out that just a few days earlier, So-dung had actively sought out Philip and lured him into a trap. Philip asked, "Aren't you dating Dung Pa?" But So-dung said they weren't in that kind of relationship. Thus, Philip and So-dung became secret lovers, but Philip didn't know that she was only doing this to take advantage of him. Suddenly, Music called Philip. "That bitch is at the money exchange counter in Manila. Now I'll send you the address. Go and bring that bitch back here for me." "Yes, I understand, Philip." "Yes, boss, take care." Philip knew this was over. The last take care was that Music had found out. Philip hurriedly went to look for So-dung, but he forgot to take his car keys. A friend happened to drive by. He was also a subordinate of Music, named Sang-do. He asked Philip, "Why are you so worried? Is something wrong?" Philip didn't tell him because he was still not knowing what was happening. Philip asked Sang-do to take him to the money exchange counter. While waiting for the two of them to arrive, they coincidentally met So-dung. Philip got out of the car and quickly got into So-dung's car. So-dung was very surprised to see Philip. She had originally intended to run away alone with the money, but unexpectedly Philip had found her. So-dung still wanted to continue the act, but Philip asked her where the money was and said that everything was over. Music had found out about them. Philip wanted to take the money and return it to Music, but So-dung disagreed. "Don't you know what kind of person you are? Don't you know how he managed to find us here? So you should go back and honestly apologize and beg the boss for forgiveness. The boss trusts you very much. Maybe he'll forgive us." She felt very ridiculous. She said Philip was too naive. Now they only have one way to escape. This is the Philippines. No matter where we run, the boss will find us. The police or the gangsters, the boss knows them all. We definitely can't escape. Just as the two were talking, someone outside knocking on the door. Philip thought So-dung had blocked someone else's car, so he told her to open the window and apologize. "I must have parked here, right?" "Yes, that's right." Du, standing to the side, was stunned. He witnessed Philip and So-dung being shot dead, but he didn't dare approach because the assailant had a gun. He saw the killer open So-dung's car trunk and then transfer money into his own car. At this time, the two were not yet dead. After taking the money, the killer shot each of them a few more times. Not long after, Music and Jung Pa arrived at the funeral home. They saw Philip and So-dung dead. Jung Pa felt very annoyed because after all, So-dung was the person he used to like, and Philip was also their good friend for many years. He never expected that today he would lose his life for money. Music asked Sang-do who the killer was. Sang-do said that he didn't see it either. At that time, the police officer was carrying a silencer and was wearing a helmet. After killing the person, he took the money and left. Music asked them not to talk nonsense about this matter. If this involved the police, then things would be difficult to resolve. That evening, Music went to meet someone, and that person was the killer. Today, it turns out he hired assassins to kill So-dung and Philip. What Music hates most is betrayal, but he doesn't know that at this time, because of another matter, he has been targeted by the police. Another of his subordinates committed murder and fled, killing 2 wanted criminals. After being chased by Korean police to the Philippines, both were found murdered. After investigation, the police realized the killer was Kyung-do, Music's subordinate. After being introduced, the police arranged a meeting with Music. I wanted to ask if Music knew where Kyung-do was, but the 2 police officers thought they were in the country and used an arrogant and rude tone as if they were interrogating Music. You shouldn't treat your helper like you're interrogating a criminal. What kind of interrogation is that? We ask you whatever you want to answer. You should scold me politely. You're not doing that very well. I said, you have a lot of problems to deal with. What did you say? Should we investigate you too? This police officer knows that Music can get here, so he must have done something shady, but he forgot this isn't Korea, it's the Philippines. You're such a jerk. Hey, kid, has your manners been stolen by a dog? Hey, boss, do you think I'm your subordinate like those guys? That kid of yours, how dare he be so insolent? Just forget it. Music stood up and left, but Seung-hun stopped him. Seung-hun knew what kind of person Music was, so he quickly tried to mediate between the 2 sides, but Music completely refused to accept it. After saying that, he immediately, turning around and walking away, the introducer quickly chased after him. Kyung-hun asked his colleague why he spoke like that. No matter what, Music is a famous figure in the Philippines. We need his help. A moment later, the introducer brought Music back. The police officer who had spoken arrogantly to Music earlier also softened up and started flattering him. Not long after, Music led them to Kyung-do's secret residence and found evidence showing that he had committed murder. After saying that, Music left. Dung-pa asked why. Why do you have to help the police? He replied that Kyung-do didn't consider him his boss and had done something terrible. Now the only option is to let the police arrest him to avoid further trouble later. That evening, there was a knock on Seung-hun's door. He opened it to see, but there was no one outside, only a piece of paper with Kyung-do's address written on it. Soon, Seung-hun led the police to a resort. After inquiring, they learned that Kyung-do was indeed staying there. They followed the staff to his room. Kyung-do, a Philippine police officer, told Seung-hun to just watch for a while. Although Seung-hun was also a police officer, he didn't have the authority to enforce the law in the Philippines. However, Seung-hun didn't listen to him at all. He didn't want Kyung-do to escape. Suddenly, Kyung-do's girlfriend saw them and screamed loudly, making Kyung-do run away. This guy was really quick. As soon as he heard the commotion, he dodged and ran. The 2 chased each other. Kyung-do ran into an alley, but unfortunately, he encountered Seung-hun, who directly subdued him. But Kyung-do had. Pulling out their guns, Philippine police suddenly appeared. They subdued Kyung-do at Music, who was at his villa at the time. Suddenly, Jung-pa called him, saying that a Korean tourist had borrowed a lot of money from a casino but refused to pay it back. Jung-pa asked Music to think of a solution. It turned out that this tourist, named T, had lost tens of millions in the casino and had borrowed another 1 billion. This man kept boasting about how powerful he was in Korea, saying he owned a large enterprise, but now, because of himself, is in the Philippines so he can't get the money. He asked them to let him return to Korea as soon as he got off the plane. He said he would send the money back to them. He even said this amount wasn't enough for him to spend in Korea for 1 day. He's just bragging. He's truly shameless. Jung-pa knew this man was showing off. They had checked his information. He was a real scammer. Suddenly, Music came over and greeted him. The car to the airport was ready. He invited him to follow them. Jung-pa didn't understand anything. He didn't know Music and thought it was Jung-pa. He let me go, so he just kept following Music while in the car. TC felt this wasn't the way to the airport. He asked Music what had happened. Unexpectedly, Music directly pulled out a gun and then shouted. Only then did 2 large men appear from the backseat. TC knew he had fallen into trouble. The two men behind him covered his face and took him to a dilapidated warehouse. They tied him up, grabbed music, took out a knife, and told everyone to start sharpening it. Surely anyone who saw this scene would. Terrified, but TC wasn't a new Matt. He wasn't scared at all. A little fear, he stepped forward. Are you scared? Kneel down. Why should I kneel? Haha, you're quite bold, aren't you? I'll count to 10. You must kneel down, don't pretend anymore. He actually knelt down, but then stood up again. He said it was too late to pay now, told them to spread the top on the ground, and warned them not to let the blood stain everywhere. In such a terrifying situation, TC wanted to run, but how could he escape? His mouth finally softened and he began to beg, please forgive him. Music said they had investigated TC's information and found out that TC was a con artist in Korea. Music asked his men to deal with TC before cutting off pieces of his flesh. After saying that, he left. Music ordered his men to guard the place. In reality, he was threatening TC to deal with a borrower who didn't repay, and this was the only and most effective method. The next day, Music came here again. This time, TC was no longer wearing a shirt. It seemed he had been tortured all night. Seeing Music approaching, TC burst into tears right there. Music, the wrong person untied him, then took out 2 mobile phones, one of which was a TCO phone, the other a mobile phone with 3 hours of international calls. Music said he could call the police to have the Korean embassy arrest them, and he could also use the other mobile phone to make calls and withdraw money. He demanded that TC collect the debt within 1 day. After saying that, he left. TC is now like he's been given a second chance at life, but borrowing money seems even more unpleasant than before. When relatives and friends heard the news and wanted to borrow money, they all turned off their phones one by one. The phone isn't calling him anymore. Today, the big boss of Music opened another hotel, and many high-ranking officials attended. Of course, there was one person who made everyone quite uncomfortable. This man's name is TC. Initially, he couldn't make it in Korea, but after being introduced by a friend, he joined Mu. He arranged for him to work alongside him, but unexpectedly, this guy knew how to win people over. Soon, he made the boss of Mu extremely happy, so now TC is still working alongside him. The big boss, however, has become increasingly arrogant lately. Sometimes he even disregards Music. Now he's acquainted with someone in the embassy named Chu Seong, a consular officer at the Korean embassy in the Philippines. He and Music have never gotten along. After TC got to know Chu Seong, he became even more arrogant and unruly. He even dared to scold Music in front of him. After TC left, Music asked Chairman Minute, why are you still keeping him? After all, he has connections. With him here, Wei will not be targeted either. Just think about it a little. Music still doesn't know because he has done too well, so TC is always jealous of him. This time, he just met Chu Zion, and is already started to act up and play tricks. That day, Music saw his subordinate Jung Pa's face was injured, some blue, some red. Jung Pa said that TC beat him up. This guy is beyond help now. He thinks he has a big shot protecting him. He acts like a bully in kindergarten all day long. Music got angry and called TCOC directly, telling him to come to his office immediately. Not long after, TCOC, he came and asked Music what was wrong. He was very busy and didn't have time. Music told him to sit down and ask him why he beat up Dung Ba. Oh my god, this guy is so arrogant. Please have some self-respect. You get beaten up and you go tattling. When I talk to you properly, you should listen. Music said he helped teach his subordinates a lesson, so what's the big deal? Music asked TC, doesn't the ministry want to live in the Philippines anymore? TS snatched the packet of medicine from Music and said, where I live is up to me. What does that have to do with you, sir? I'm saying this, Mr. MCH. You see me living well. Are you so annoyed? Jung Pa finally couldn't hold back anymore and demanded that TCC speak a little more politely. Haven't you been beaten up enough? Do you think there's room for a little brat like you to butt in when the big bosses are talking? What kind of person are you? You damn bastard. This guy, Sang-do, just one move and he subdued him. He told Sang-do to behave himself in the future and not bully his people anymore. Otherwise, he would make him return to Korea. Then he told Sang-do to release him. He was extremely angry. Anger led to the whole body trembling. Then he rushed out of the office. Muzic didn't know that a vicious person like to should be eliminated in the bud. Otherwise, he would cause him a lot of trouble later. That day, Muzic received a call from Chu Sion, a consular officer. Chu Sion asked Muzic if he had kidnapped a Korean man. Muzic said no, there was no kidnapping. That person owed him money, and after he paid enough, he would release him. Chu Sion demanded that Muzic release the man out of respect for him. Otherwise, Chu Sion will use his power to directly hang up the phone that night. He went to the warehouse to find TCX. This guy had already gathered enough money to pay off his debts. Mu asked him if he had reported to the police. TCX said no, he knew he was wrong. Now he was very scared. Mu intended to release TCX, but TCX said he didn't want to go back, he wanted to follow MI. The next day, Chairman Minute told MI that TC had become increasingly arrogant lately. Sometimes he didn't even respect him. Chairman Minute asked MI to deal with TC. Suddenly, Muzic received a call from a friend at the police station who called the police chief and told Muzic that he had received an order from a South Korean consulate employee to arrest Muzic. If he dared to resist, he could be shot on the spot. After Muzic hung up the phone, he immediately called Chu Sai and asked if he wanted to kill him. Chu Sai said yes, and asked if he had any objections. So, you bastard, you live in China, right? Your daughter is in kindergarten, right? Within 72 hours, I will definitely make you pay. Regretting what he did, do you understand? All the names are here. Oh look, Chu Sion, right away, he couldn't help but be scared. He didn't dare disbelieve what Muzic said. He waited until midnight while Muzic was sleeping. Suddenly, TC walked in with a gun, then pointed the gun at Muzic. Just as he was about to shoot, it was TC, right? Don't cause trouble at the Philippine casino. The man was dissatisfied because someone blocked him in front of the elevator, so he pushed the other person aside, but TC didn't know that this bald guy was one of the top bosses in the two-member criminal gang. People started fighting in the elevator. At this time, the bald guy's henchmen were waiting at the elevator entrance. After the elevator doors opened, the whole group saw their boss being beaten up by someone else. Oh, Long, what are you looking at? Punch him in the mouth for me. He's stunned and bewildered. At this time, the owner of the silver clam chain was talking to the mayor when suddenly he received a call from Dung. Those three guys are here again. He's fighting with some kind of triad. They're in close combat. Have you guys called the police yet? Yes, I've called. I'll be there right away. Muzic rushed out to the main hall, which had become chaotic. Sangu and Junga stopped Muzic because Tu and the others wouldn't back down. Muzic wasn't afraid of trouble. He ran into the casino and demanded that TCC put down his gun, but by then both sides had completely lost control. They started shooting at each other. Then the police appeared, blocking TCC and the gang. They confronted the police, who were fully armed with sniper rifles. TCC obediently handed over his gun, and the police escorted the group away. This left the casino because TCC is Korean. Seung Hun is a Korean police officer stationed in the Philippines, so he also participated in this mission. Suddenly, the Philippine police officer received a call from the police chief. He unexpectedly turned around and drove in the opposite direction from the police station. He took TX to the scrapyard. It turned out that Muse 11 was waiting there. He was the one who had asked the police to bring TX to this place. TX had caused trouble in his casino. Muse 11 had to teach TX a lesson. After seeing Muse, Hun saw TX. At that moment, he finally understood what was happening. This was so ridiculous. The police actually handed the criminal over to the casino owner. Music gave money to the Philippine police right in front of Seung Hun. This made Seung Hun even angrier. Then Music took a lot of money out of his wallet and gave it to Seung Hun. Next time I kick you out, I'll definitely report you for bribing a public official. Okay, Music said. I can't believe there are people like that in the world. He's been working in the Philippines for many years. There's the mayor, there's the police, even the president's secretary. Everyone likes the way Music works. This is the first time he's seen someone refuse money. Although Seung Hundi is very unhappy, he has no other choice because this is the Philippines. The police arrest Seung Hundi, leaving him alone. TC is so scared he wants to wet his pants. Music takes off his jacket and goes to TCC. Big brother, please forgive me this time. I will definitely leave here. Now TCC finally knows fear. Before, He was always arrogant and never they valued Muzic. Muzic beat him up, then told him that on the ground were barrels full of strong sulfuric acid. He would soon disappear from this world. Muzic's henchmen poured all the sulfuric acid into the barrels. They intended to put him in the bathtub for fun. Then Muzic left. Before leaving, he told his men that they just needed to scare him a little and then let him go. Yes, this time, Big Boss Muzic was really too soft-hearted. The reason he let TCX out of the police's hands was because he wanted to save him. Muzic only wanted to bring him back to Korea, not to kill him, but TC is a narrow-minded person. He never thought about this. A few days ago, TC sneaked into Muzic's house with a gun, intending to kill him. Muzic asked him why he wanted to kill him, saying, "I find you an eyesore. You've made me lose face in front of my subordinates." Despite this, Muzic still spared him. He told T, "I warn you, within 72 hours you must leave Manila, Philippines. Otherwise, I will really kill him." He said after Muzic let him go, TC had never been grateful to Muzic for not killing him. He only wanted to kill Muzic. TC did not leave the Philippines. He went to see the president of the co-op and told her that the 100 billion lost earlier had actually been taken by Muzic. The president of the co-op believed him. What she hated most was being plotted against. The president said she could give TC 1 billion if he could kill Muzic, and she would add another 2 billion. TC did not accept this task. He knew that in the Philippines, killing Muzic was difficult. He went up to heaven, so he introduced someone to the co-president. He said that if he could get this person's help, everything would be fine, but it would cost a lot of money. What kind of relationship do you have with that person? I used to work for this person. Then he reported it to Muzic's casino. Because it was less than 72 hours later, due to his bad mood, he got into a fight, but he didn't expect the other party to be a member of the Triad Society. After that, he was arrested by the police. He thought he would have to go to jail, but Muzic saved him. Although he taught him a lesson and asked him to return to Korea, Tsop was ungrateful to Muzic for saving him, instead considering it a disgrace. Tsop still doesn't know that Mu not only saved him from the police but also called the Triad boss hoping the other party would spare Tsop. Muzic promised to expel Tsop from the Philippines, but he doesn't know that Tsop will not leave but will also prepare revenge against Muzic because the Korean gangster gang he helped has arrived in the Philippines. They are a group. 5 to 6 people came to see the former boss. The former boss was also a notorious gangster in the Philippines, but now he has retired. The former boss is a friend of gangsters in Korea. They asked the former boss to arrange a meeting. The former boss is very loyal and kind to his friends. He received a call from the former boss and rushed to the meeting place immediately. After arriving, he still didn't know he had fallen into the trap of the other party when he didn't see the former boss. Muzic felt something was wrong. He was about to leave when a group of men with knives surrounded him. They kicked Muzic to the ground. At this time, Muzic's henchmen were still in the casino. They didn't know that their boss was on the brink of death, and Muzic was tied to a chair. He asked them who they were and why they were doing this to him. He had been running a casino but was cheating customers. Which customers? Surely you should know better than me. Anyway, it wasn't a small amount of money, 100 billion. Only then did he realize that this person was sent by Chairman Company previously. Chairman Co won 100 billion at Mzic's casino, but 2 casino employees took the money and ran away. Eventually, those 2 people were injected with something unknown, and the 100 billion also disappeared. So Chairman Co suspects that Mzic stole this money. They took out scissors and asked him if he stole the money. If he didn't say anything, they would cut off each of his fingers. Mzic didn't admit where the money was. Cut it off. Wait, the important thing is the money. You came here for the money, didn't you? Of course, as long as we get that money, we'll leave here, he said. No matter how much money it is, just make a phone call and someone will bring the money. Just one call and you'll have 100 billion? Yes, because I'm the owner of that casino. I can even give more money. The gangsters burst out laughing and said, Muzic is truly worthy of being the owner of a casino, so enviable. But then he said to Muzic, if there really is 100 billion, we can't get it. I can transfer the money to your account, but there's no clear account. They're not working for money. They were filming and asking if Muzic had stolen the money. These people aren't stupid. If Muzic made a phone call, they would surely die here. To force Muzic to confess, They were planning to piggyback on Muzich's coattails. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. It turned out TC was here. Previously, TC had offended the triad in the Philippines and was arrested by the police. Muzich saved him, but he didn't know how to be grateful and instead wanted to kill Muzich. TCC said to the leader of the Korean gangster group, "This is all my territory. If anyone finds out you've kidnapped him, will you still be alive to return to Korea? What is the co-president? Do you think she can save you and get you back to your country?" I told them to leave quickly. If it was too late, they wouldn't be able to leave anymore, because Muzich has a lot of power in the Philippines. Then TCC took Muzich to the riverbank. The reason he saved Muzich from the Korean gangsters wasn't actually because he wanted to help. He wanted to personally lock him in the trunk of the car. Then he put the car in gear and pushed it into the river. He watched the car and the car sink into the water. He left satisfied. This man was truly too insidious. Muzich shouldn't have saved him from the beginning, and he saved him again and again. Then TCC returned home. At night, while he was sleeping, two people carrying something came to his house. They unlocked TCC's house and threw in some king cobras. It turned out they were members of the Triad Society. TCC had said before had a conflict with this man at the casino, so he only wanted to kill TCC, but behind him was Muzich. Wasn't he already dead? It turns out the Triad was still watching TCC. They saw T-Zox push Muzich into the river. Waiting until T-Zox left, they jumped in to rescue Muzich. T-Zox was sleeping in his house at the time. He suddenly woke up, haunted by the thought that Muzich was still alive, so he started checking everywhere. Seeing that the lock was still turned, he felt relieved. TCC went to the bedside. At this moment, a cobra slowly crawled towards him and bit him. He was so scared that he slumped to the ground, but more and more snakes crawled over. They seemed to really enjoy it. "I give you a kiss, you give me a kiss." We take turns kissing each other repeatedly. It wasn't until early morning that Muzich returned home. Jung Pa and Sang-do were waiting there. Seeing Muzich return, they breathed a sigh of relief. They hadn't been able to contact Muzich all night. They were worried something bad had happened. "That guy, TX, I've already sent him back to Korea. I'm back here to tell you too. Plus, Music, tired." Going upstairs, they knew that tonight was definitely something happened to him at this time. The Korean thugs kidnapped Muzich, who was still unaware of the danger. He followed his boss to the Philippines to eat fresh seafood. They went to a bar, and suddenly all the customers in the bar dispersed, leaving only a few of them. Suddenly, his boss's phone rang. He checked and saw that the caller was the casino owner. "Hello, Mr. Muzich, what's wrong? It's so hard to get in touch with you, boss." "Oh my God, I didn't know you were calling." "Give it to me, always, ha ha ha, how could you not know? I've called you so many times already." Everyone was extremely surprised in their hearts, knowing that their lives were over, music was over, along with a few gunmen. He asked them which gang they belonged to in Korea. "We are from Busan, sir," they replied. "Gangsters in Busan, and they're following the chairman's orders? Is it possible that some jerk was pulling the strings?" This guy didn't answer. Seemingly very loyal, he asked the boss, "Why did you help these people arrange this meeting?" I tried to refuse them, but they kept begging me for help." That's right. This has nothing to do with the boss. He doesn't know that one word from him helped them all save their lives. The boss really likes people with integrity. He told him to come closer and pointed a gun at his stomach. "The senior is talking, don't interrupt." Then he said to everyone, "Your territory is in South Korea, right? If I were in South Korea, would I be able to defeat you? Absolutely impossible. But here in the Philippines is my territory. Can you defeat me? My strength, boss, you knows very well." Muzich said, "It's okay, I'm wrong." I said, "Isn't that right? Isn't that right?" "Yes, that's right." Muzich told them to go back to Korea and not wander around in the Philippines anymore. Boss Yu quickly stood up and prepared to leave, but Muzich stopped him. Boss Yu helped them call him out, almost killing him in the hands of the opponent. Muzich still didn't touch him. That's because initially when Muzich came to the Philippines, Boss Yu had helped him. Muzich told everyone to leave. The reason Muzich did that is probably because later, when Muzich returns to Korea, he will also be involved with this gang. After this incident, Muzich and his subordinate Jung Pa are playing. Jung Pa wants to borrow money from Music and says he wants to do big business with a partner from the Triad Society. Music immediately refused and told him not to get involved with those people, otherwise he wouldn't know what to do. Music still doesn't know that Jung Pa has actually fallen into a trap and has been cheated out of a lot of money. To return the money, the casino manager was there, but Jung Pa was hiding in the casino, gambling. Music discovered Jung Pa playing cards. He asked the waiter, "How much did my younger brother lose?" He had lost 50 million Philippine dollars. 50 million Philippine dollars? Where did he get that money? He borrowed it from them, the Triad Group. It seems they lent Jung Pa money at exorbitant interest rates. Waiting until evening, he called Music and said he couldn't bring Jung Pa back anymore. All day Jung Pa only knew how to gamble. Music demanded that Sang-do give him 20 million chips for Jung Pa. Then he went to the casino, but Sang-do told him that Jung Pa had lost 20 million won. Music told him to call Jung Pa outside. As soon as he stepped out, Jung Pa cried and recounted how angry he was. If things continued like this, Jung Pa would surely be beyond saving. He asked Sang-do to take Jung Pa back to Korea the next day. The next day, Sang-do took Jung Pa to the airport so he could fly back to Korea. After Jung Pa returned home, he worked as a cashier in his mother's small restaurant. A casino manager in the Philippines returned to his hometown and worked at a small eatery. He couldn't help but feel uncomfortable. He felt like this was torture. Suddenly, Music called to ask if he had adapted to life at home. Jung Pa cried and asked Music for help. Music wanted him to return to the country, wanting him to regain his senses. As a younger brother who had been by his side for so long, how could he not help? Music told Jung Pa to fly to the Philippines tomorrow. After that, he went to find someone from the Triad Society. After all, this guy had saved his life before. Music asked him to take him to find the boss because Jung Pa owed them 50 million Philippine dollars. Moreover, it's usurious loan money. Music said that Jung Pa would definitely repay the money, but in installments, and he hoped that they wouldn't charge interest from Jung Pa. The boss had promised Music. Actually, Music asked Jung Pa to return to Korea because he was afraid that the Triad would harm Jung Pa the next day. Jung Pa returned to the Philippines. He was very happy. Music told him that he had arranged everything with the Triad. It's just that Jung Pa has to pay in installments. Today he has to pay them 10 million, but now Jung Pa has no money. He started contacting his friends in Korea, including Jang, a man who was also a junior of Music. Jang knew what kind of person Jung Pa was. He had previously lent Jung Pa hundreds of millions of won, but Jung Pa hadn't repaid a single penny. So Jang didn't want to lend Jung Pa any more money. Then Music called Jang, and even used his name to vouch for Jung Pa's loan. Music intended to teach Jung Pa a decent life. In the blink of an eye, a month passed. Jung Pa was working hard, and this month he earned a lot of money. Music asked him, "Why didn't you return the money to Jung Pa?" He said, "I just earned tens of millions. If I return the money to Jang, then I'll probably be eating instant noodles." Music told him to come to his office. He asked everyone to leave first, then took off his shirt and beat Jung Pa up properly. After a while, Jang in Korea received the debt repayment from Jung Pa. Then Music called him. "Did you receive the 50 million? "Yes, the payment was made on time." From now on, you won't owe me anymore." After the phone call, Mr. Bao Jung Pa lifted his head and taught him a lesson. "Your behavior is no different from that of a beggar. Didn't I say that even if I have to beg, I will definitely pay off all my debts? Are you going to beg? You're a beggar. Have you ever begged? Do you know what kind of person is the worst in the world? It's someone who relies on others' love. Do you really want to become that kind of person?" Music is absolutely right. This time, Jung Pa has truly learned his lesson and completely changed. When working in the casino in the Philippines, he learned to adapt and be flexible. Mu-11 offended a South Korean consular officer in the Philippines. A man told him to bow his head and apologize to the consular officer. After all, he was a high-ranking official, but Mu-11 knew the other party was a scoundrel. He not only frequently extorted money from local South Koreans but also abused his position for personal gain. Mu-11 hated people like him the most, but Mu-11 still arranged to meet the consular officer outside. He still had that arrogant attitude, looking down on everyone. "A consular officer like me wants to report him. With this, sir, please tell me. You should know how trouble comes from the mouth. You dare to threaten my family." Music sincerely apologizes to the consular staff. When the consular staff member took office here, he wanted to extort money from Muzic because Muzic ignored him, so he ordered the police to arrest Muzic. If he dared to resist, he would be shot on the spot. Therefore, Muzic was very angry. He called and threatened the consular staff member, saying that he knew which school his daughter attended. That's why the two sides became enemies. Now, after being the introducer, Muzic wanted to mediate the conflict between the two, but the consular officer still didn't know better. I advise you to be a little more sensible. Opposing me won't do you any good. If I wanted to bring you down, I wouldn't need to personally do it. Someone else would do it for me. I apologized to him again, but the consular officer didn't listen. He continued to insult Muzic. This made Muzic completely angry. The consular officer asked him how he knew which school his daughter attended. This time you sent your daughter to school in California. If I'm interested, I can immediately ask around. I know where your wife is and what she's doing. She's the mayor's daughter. I heard you got your position at the embassy because you relied on your wife. Without her, you're not even as good as a dog. The mediator next to me, knowing everything, decided to let go of the chains and started retaliating, scolding the consular staff without warning. He patted the consular staff on the face and said they'd better learn to recognize the truth. This is the Philippines, not the Philippines. It must be South Korea, this damn name. I swear, before I'm transferred back to South Korea, I will definitely kill him. He was dragged out by Seung Hun. Seung Hun is a South Korean police officer stationed in the Philippines. He ran to the police station and warned him to be careful in the future. He said he had to be mindful of his words, understand the situation clearly before saying, "This is the Philippines." That day, Mu called the local mayor and police chief to arrange a meeting and give each of them a gift. The mayor asked if they were attending Daniel's birthday party. Mu said that he only needed to. Daniel invited him, and he certainly would attend, but the mayor said it was a private family party. Would it be appropriate for him to go? Why would he say that? Although Daniel invited him, he should know his place. Music immediately became angry. Daniel is the hidden emperor of the Philippines, someone even the president wouldn't dare touch. The mayor was afraid of competing with him for favor, so he didn't let him go. I understand, don't worry, I won't interfere with your business, but please come later. Hey, don't talk to me in that tone anymore. Soon it was Daniel's birthday, and Music was invited. Daniel told Music there was a job collecting sand and gravel. Do you want to do it? He asked. This is a very profitable opportunity. Music politely refused. Because I promised the mayor I wouldn't steal his business, Daniel said. But Daniel has already assigned Music to do it. Daniel, because that's my area. If you allow me, I can bring you profit. You could tell Daniel was very angry. The mayor quickly apologized, and at the same time, Music asked Daniel, why didn't you let John handle it? Zed is Daniel's bodyguard, to be precise. He's a professional investigator who handles Daniel's dirty work. Music has a good relationship with him. Daniel laughed, saying Music was too modest, always refusing the business deal he introduced. At this moment, the mayor revealed a sinister expression. People like that are the truly dangerous ones. Waiting until the party ended, Zed took Music home. He was very grateful that Music had spoken up for him. Muse 11 got out of the car and accidentally saw them. He took out his mobile phone and filmed them. Sang-do clearly remembered that his friend Philip had been shot and 100 billion won had been stolen. The culprit was the person who was with Muse 11. Sang-do began to suspect whether Muse 11 had killed Philip and stolen 100 billion won from a chairman. He still didn't know. Not only Sang-do suspected himself, but the South Korean police stationed in the Philippines, Seung Hun, was also investigating the case. He went to Sang-do to ask if he knew who had stolen it. Money didn't go to do. He didn't directly answer me. It seems you're targeting my boss. You're good. Be careful later. Music is currently surrounded by enemies from all sides. At this time, the South Korean consulate staff in the Philippines are also thinking of ways to deal with him while he is having dinner with some friends because a friend of the consulate staff has some conflicts with Chairman Minute, the owner of Music. The consulate staff helped him by introducing him to a friend who said she could find the killer for just 20 million won. He can handle Chairman Minute silently. This friend immediately transferred the money, and the recipient of this assassination order is the mayor's subordinate. He gave the order to the mayor. The mayor saw the target was the owner of Mu Chain and was extremely interested. He gave the subordinate 5 million, the rest was his, but he needed to find a killer. The The mayor spent $5 million to find a killer in the Philippines. When someone confirms your name, you definitely don't say it's me. Chairman Minute was immediately shot on the spot. A moment later, Jung Pa ran away. Upon seeing Chairman Minute, he was extremely frightened and immediately called Mu Zich. Not long after, Mu Zich arrived at the hospital. At this time, Chairman Minute was covered with a white cloth. Mu Zich looked at his body and couldn't hold back his tears. He had faced death so many times, but he had never shed a single tear. Yet now he cried like a child. However, Mu Zich still didn't know that he would face even more trouble next. Soon after, he helped Chairman Minute organize the funeral, and the two murderers were also there. These are the people who hired the assassin to kill Chairman Minute after the two went outside. The consular staff asked their friend, "What's happening? Our target wasn't Mu Zich, was it? Why kill Chairman Minute?" It turned out that the consular staff had introduced the assassin to this friend so that he could kill Mu Zich. Unexpectedly, this friend killed Chairman Minute. It turned out that this friend's name was Jingu. There was a business conflict between him and Chairman Minute, so he paid to assassinate Chairman Minute even though Mu Zich hadn't killed him yet. But the consular staff came up with a plan. He intended to frame President Minute. The consular staff went to the Philippine capital to find a friend at the NSA. This bald-headed man was Manos, the head of the Security Bureau. He was a madman. The consular staff told him that Manos was a cruel man and said that no one in Manila dared to touch Manos. He even presented evidence that Manos was President Min's business partner. Now President Minute had decided that all the business had fallen into Manos's hands. The consular staff asked Manos to find. The way to catch Mu 11 was to wait until evening. The consular staff and Jingu went to Chairman Min's office again. They took their fake contract and placed it in Chairman Min's safe. They also wanted some shares in Chairman Min's company. But no matter what they did, they couldn't open the safe. At this moment, a woman entered the office. Both of them quickly hid. It turned out that this woman was Chairman Min's secretary. Mu 11 had asked her to get the contract for the safe. The secretary opened the safe, placed the contract on the table, and then prepared to take out the money inside. She didn't know that Jingu was hiding under the safe at this moment. He secretly placed his contract in that stack of documents and waited until the next day. Jingu hired a lawyer to find Mu Zich, saying that he was a shareholder of the company. As he spoke, he took out a copy of the contract. Mu Zich looked at it and didn't know when this guy had shares in the company. Jingu asked him to verify the original documents that Chairman Minute kept. After saying that, he left. After Jingu left, the secretary told Mu Zich, "This contract is fake." What? This secretary has been with Chairman Minute for 15 years. Chairman Minute has a contract. She knows it very well. This contract was signed on October 10, 2010. But on that day Chairman Minute went to the hospital for surgery and couldn't sign the contract. Mu Zich felt something was wrong. Now he suspects that the consular staff and Jingu killed Chairman Minute suddenly. Mu Zich received a call. "Hello, sir. The Security Bureau has issued an arrest warrant for you." "Why does the Security Bureau want to arrest me?" "Someone has reported you." "Chairman Minute? What?" Mu Zich was very surprised, but at this moment the Security Bureau had arrived at the local police station. Seung Hun looked at these people. He didn't understand what the Security Bureau was doing here. Manas said he came here to arrest Mu Zich. Although Seung Hun also wanted to arrest Mu Zich, he knew what kind of person Mu Zich was, and he knew Chairman Minute was Mu Zich's boss. There was no reason to kill him. Seung Hun felt there was definitely something fishy going on, but now things were getting worse because the consular staff had used the media to publicly say that Mu Zich was a murderer and that he was wanted. He was extremely angry, so he quickly contacted Daniel. Daniel said the matter had reached the media. He told Mu to run away first and said he would investigate this matter thoroughly. At this time, the consular staff and Jingu had come to Seung Hun. While they were talking, Seung Hun received an anonymous call. "Hello, it's me. Is it convenient to talk?" "Yes, sir. Are you still well?" Jingu felt something was wrong. Mu Zich told Seung Hun that he wanted to meet him and needed his help. The owner of the Philippine casino. Every time he appears, he had bodyguards following him, but he still didn't know that at this moment, people from the Philippine Security Bureau were surrounding him everywhere. Could these bodyguards protect him from them? He walked into the church because he and Seung Hun had arranged to meet there. He told Seung Hun that he had been framed, that the culprit was Chairman Minute, an employee of the consulate, and that he had taken out a fake contract. He said that these two wanted to take Chairman Min's shares and had hired assassins to kill him. He knew Seung-hun was an upright police officer, and he hoped he could manage the situation, investigate and find out the truth. In reality, Seung-hun also doesn't believe that Mu-zich killed Chairman Minute. Although he doesn't like Mu-zich, Seung-hun still stands on the side of justice. While the two were talking, people from the Philippine Security Agency arrived, carrying heavy weapons. Therefore, the Mu-zich guards had no choice but to surrender. We are looking for a Korean man named Mu-zich. If you cooperate, I guarantee we will not prosecute you. Suddenly, Philippine police ran up. They stopped and prevented Manos from arresting anyone. Here, Security Bureau, what are you doing here? We have an arrest warrant because he is involved in a rape case. You are not allowed to be here. This is under the city's jurisdiction. Release those people and please leave. Manos said, this action has been approved by the local mayor. The police checked the arrest warrant. He took out his cell phone and called the mayor. He was stunned to receive a confirmation, but after this delay, he also received a message from the police chief. The police told him that the security bureau was, you came to arrest this guy, and you even brought others here? What? Oh my God, this kid. Mu-zich quickly left. At this moment, Manos and his men rushed in, but Mu-zich had already escaped. Manos asked Seung-hun what happened. Why did you let Mu-zich go? I didn't let him go. And how did you know he was here? Seung-hun didn't understand either. Who leaked the information? Waiting until evening, the consular staff and Jinwoo were having dinner. This woman helped them find the killer. The three of them were very angry, not understanding why Seung-hun helped Mu-zich. So they thought of another rather clever way to lure Mu-zich out. A foreigner came to Mu-zich's casino. He approached Sang-do and said he had a big business deal he wanted to cooperate with Mu-zich. Immediately afterwards, Sang-do contacted Jung-pa at this time. Jung-pa and Mu-zich were living in a private villa. He gave Mu-zich his mobile phone. The foreigner said he was introduced by a friend of Mu-zich and had a big business deal. He asked if Mu-zich wanted to participate. The leader of North Korea planned to build a casino for foreigners in Pyongyang and wanted cooperating with him. Of course, this is absolutely true. He's very suitable for that place. Mu-zich immediately became interested. He had long wanted to set up a casino in Pongo, but until now he hadn't had the opportunity. Unexpectedly, the opportunity came to him. He still didn't know that this was completely a trap set by someone else. The two agreed on a meeting place and discussed the details. Soon Mu-zich arrived at the meeting point. Mr. Bao Dungpa was waiting at the door. Mu then walked into the hotel with his bodyguard, but after arriving, Mu didn't see any foreigners. At this moment, the security bureau had also arrived in front of the hotel. They were rushing out, preparing to arrest Mu-zich. Suddenly, an order to stop the operation was issued from the internal communication system, but Manos was a madman. He didn't listen to the captain's orders. The chief wanted us to stop the operation this time. We mustn't continue the operation. Stop the operation immediately. What are you doing? Mu-zich, continue the operation. The mission also received a message from the chief. He said, run faster. Let's go. Let's run. People from the security bureau rushed over, ran to Manos and his men caught Mu-zich. They made him kneel. Mu-zich's bodyguards knelt down, but Mu-zich didn't. They bent Mu-zich's arms and took him away. After Mu-zich was put in the car, he said he wanted to make a phone call, but Manos refused. Are you sure? I'm not a criminal. What's your name? What's your name? Oh, it hurts so much. Hospital. Quick. To the hospital. Hurry. They could only take Mu-zich to the hospital. Although they knew he was only pretending, if there was really a problem, they wouldn't stand a chance of surviving. After arriving at the hospital, Manos received a call from my superior. Hello, Chief. You arrested Father Mu-zich in Seldon, right? Yes, sir. Are you out of your mind? Do you know whose hotel that is? It's Daniel's hotel. Daniel is furious right now. I order you to release him immediately. I can't do that. What do you mean by that? This is an action that the president himself eliminated. I can't release him. Tell all the members participating in this operation to pay attention to their safety. You will never know what Daniel will do. What's going on? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand? This guy seems to be not only angry but also terrified because Daniel's existence in the Philippines is like a god. Right now in the hospital, Muzic is talking to Daniel. He told Muzic to escape abroad first and he would arrange for the police to assist in escorting him. But Muzic didn't want to escape. If he escaped, it would be like telling the world that he was the one who killed Chairman Minute. But Muzic was. He was harmed and forced to find the truth, not only to clear his own name but also to avenge Chairman Minute. But Daniel said this time it was very difficult to handle because it had caused a stir in the media. Now the only way was to temporarily lie low and say he wanted to go back to Korea. He said seriously, "Why will they sentence me to life imprisonment? No, I'm not going to kill anyone. Maybe I'll have to go to prison for a few years." Daniel agreed to Muzic's request and would help him. At this time, there were many reporters downstairs. Anyway, this incident has become a hot topic. In the Philippines at this time, consular staff and Jinggu went to the Philippine Justice Minister to demand that Song Music be sent back to South Korea. Just by returning there, Music would become a fish on the chopping block, regardless of how they dealt with him. Both of them even gave extremely important gifts to the Justice Minister. They still didn't know that Music himself also wanted to return to South Korea. At this time, he was talking on the phone with Daniel. Daniel told him that before being sent back to South Korea, Music needed to participate in a press conference, just for half an hour. After hanging up the phone, he said to Jung Ba, "I have to go back to Korea to sort everything out. So, how do we settle this? I'll leave all my assets to you. During this time, your responsibility is to manage them." Jung Ba was overjoyed because Music's assets were countless. Immediately afterwards, Music was brought to the press conference. Journalists and reporters from all over the country were present. Before the press conference began, Music said to Manos, "This time, I will make you regret it." Manos brought Music to the microphone, then let the reporters ask questions. This guy really knows how to ask questions. They consider Music to be a bad person who commits every evil deed imaginable, and moreover, he pushes the death of Koreans. Previously, they went to Music's head and asked him if he was the one who killed people. It's truly insane and outrageous. Music was deported back to Korea, escorted to the airport by the Philippine National Security Agency. But after arriving there, Music was immediately released from handcuffs by the police. Does he look like a criminal at all? Music sat on the sofa, escorted by police, standing timidly to one side. Everyone is afraid of Mu, because he has too much power in the Philippines. Music called the police to escort the Philippines back, then took out his wallet and gave the other party a lot of money, asking the other party to buy cakes and coffee. I'm not exaggerating, but his demeanor is top-notch. He called the Korean police to ask the other party if they had bought a business-class plane ticket for him. This is official business, so I can't buy a business-class ticket. All are economy-class seats. What? Are you kidding me? Then I'm not going home. He said if he wants to sit, he has to sit in business class. The businessman also said he would pay for the plane ticket. After saying that, he asked the police to wait for him because he was going to take a hot spring bath, and the plane wouldn't take off for another 4 hours. It was truly wonderful. After returning to Korea, the police officer in charge of the case turned out to be a friend of Muzic. Although he hadn't returned to Korea for 15 years, he still had many friends. This police officer took Muzic out for dinner. After eating, he took him to the prison. After arriving there, Muzic was very surprised. All the prisoners there welcomed him with great respect. As for Mr. Mu, he still doesn't know what's happening. Everyone knows me, right? No, we heard that Mr. Chong visited. It seems his reputation in the Philippines has spread to Korea a long time ago. Waiting until dinner, you want to shake hands with Mu, hoping he can take you to the Philippines to make a living. The next day, Music's police friend came to find him. It turned out he had helped investigate Jinggu and discovered that Jinggu had previously gone to the Philippines to transfer money just a few days before Chairman Minute passed away. Music established means immediately understanding that Jinu and Chairman Minute had a dispute over Chairman Min's will. It was certainly caused by Jinu. Then Music was taken to the prosecutor's office. Music took evidence from his friend's investigation and handed it to the prosecutor. The prosecutor asked him, "If you already know who the real culprit is, why didn't you hand it over to the Philippine police?" The prosecutor said, "These people have colluded with the mayor to put me in a position of power. What can I do? I can only go back to my country to avoid it for a while. Now I can prove myself." Muzic, not the culprit, told the prosecutor that his hair was too long. He had a barbershop in Korea and a membership card. Apparently, there were several 100 million world in it. He told the prosecutor to go to the barbershop, give his name, and get a haircut, and said he would give the card to the prosecutor. The prosecutor understood immediately. He took out a piece of paper and asked Muzic to write a letter of repentance. Muzic said he didn't want to write. He also had a membership card for a sauna, which he gave to the prosecutor as well. The prosecutor only heard this and had no choice but to help him write a letter of repentance because they couldn't provide evidence proving that Muzic had killed President Minute. Furthermore, the crime Muzic committed 15 years ago had passed, and the appeal period had ended. Finally, Muzic was sentenced to 1 year in prison with a 1-year suspended sentence, which was equivalent to releasing him immediately. As soon as Muzic was out, he went to dinner with the prosecutor. The two also became good friends. It turned out that making friends wasn't difficult at all. At this time in the Philippines, the police announced the identity of the person who shot President Minute, and said that this person was hired by Muzic. Look at the picture of the killer. This is the real person who was photographed. Why do people just blindly say things, and the news that Muzic was released from South Korea soon spread to the Philippines? The three Jinnu were worried sick because he had paid a hitman to kill Chairman Minute and blame Muzic. They heard that Muzic had been released. Everyone felt that disaster was about to happen. To prevent Muzic from returning to the Philippines, they issued a notice that Muzic was permanently banned from the Philippines. Furthermore, they let the media announce this information. Only then could Muzic didn't dare return to the Philippines again. But they had greatly underestimated the power of money, and this was something Muzic understood best. Jung Pa opened Muzic's boss's safe, which was full of cash and gold bars. Muzic asked him to take out 50 million. After saying that, he confidently hung up the phone. But Jung Pa looked at the pile of cash and gold bars and forgot how good Muzic had been to him. So, his mind was bewitched by greed. It turned out that Muzic asked Jung Pa to bribe high-ranking officials in the Philippines. He wanted to return to the Philippines to find a way to take revenge on those who had wronged him. He set a trap for himself, but Muzic didn't know that Jung Pa, who had followed him for decades, had betrayed his trust. Jung Pa looked at the money and kept exclaiming. He had never been to this place before. If Muzic hadn't told him this time, he wouldn't even have known that Muzic had a cellar hiding gold. Jung Pa looked towards the locked iron door behind him, knowing there might be money inside. Not long after, Muzic returned to the Philippines, but Jung Pa didn't come to pick him up. It turned out Muzic had gone to find Daniel to talk to him. High-ranking officials in the Philippines lifted the entry ban on him. The first thing he did upon his return was send a message to the consular staff and Jinnu, who had set him up. Jinnu was relaxing when he suddenly received a message from Muse. Upon seeing the message, he broke out in a cold sweat. Meanwhile, the consular staff was being lectured by the leader. It turned out that he had previously extorted money from local Koreans, leading to a complaint from the people to the Korean government. The leader wanted to deport him back to his country. The consular staff was disappointed to the point where he just wanted to leave. Suddenly, Jinnu called and told him that Muzic had returned. Jinnu said he was now at the airport wanting to return to Korea to seek asylum. Muzic has too much influence in the Philippines. Only God knows if he's looking for someone to get rid of them. After hanging up, the consular staff received another call from the foreigner who had helped them deceive Muzic. He heard that Muzic had returned to the Philippines, so he also wanted to find asylum. He waited until evening. He called Jung Pa and asked him why didn't they come to pick him up. After Jung Pa heard that he had returned to the Philippines, he wasn't happy at all. On the contrary, he was gloomy and irritable, saying he was too busy. After Mu 11 hung up the phone, he didn't understand what had happened to Jung Pa. The woman was about to say something to Jung Pa. What's wrong? She asked. Surely you've just been in a bad mood lately. It seemed like Jung Pa had definitely done something. They didn't dare tell Mu 11, waiting until the next day. Mu 11 went straight to the National Security Bureau to find the director. Looking at the bald man in the surveillance camera, he arrested him. Muzic asked the manager to fire Manas. He then left, but soon after, he returned to the casino. This was his former territory, which he had been forced to leave from the Philippines. Muzic handed the casino over to Jung Pa to manage. He entered the casino and coincidentally saw Jung Pa. Jung Pa, his older brother, looked a little annoyed. Muzic just wanted to ask him if something was wrong. Jung Pa quickly said he had some business to attend to and left. Muzic felt something was amiss. After Jung Pa left with his friends, His friend asked Music what was wrong. Why didn't you introduce Dayu to us? No need. What do you mean by it's unnecessary? I came here because everyone told me to. I'm looking for him. I already have a better relationship with him. I'll introduce him to you. Could he really have betrayed Music? Has Jungpa forgotten how Music saved him that year? At this moment, Sangdu also arrived at the casino. After seeing Music, he quickly fled. Sangdu never thought that Music could return to the Philippines. He seemed is hiding something from Music, waiting until evening. Music's friend is far away. Suddenly, he receives a call. Big brother, why are you calling me? Is that Seung Ji? There used to be a guy named Cha Music, right? Is that you, Music? I'm his best friend. Really? Then bring him to see me. He'll probably have to taste some bitterness. Seung doesn't understand what's happening. When did Music offend this person? This person's name is Minzu, the new boss that Jungpa is following. But why does he want to meet Music? Could it be Jungpa asked him to do this? Music heard someone wanted to pick a fight with him. That guy said he needed to teach him a lesson. Music laughed. He'd been struggling in the Philippines for decades, and this was the first time someone had said they wanted to teach him a lesson. So where should he go to get taught a lesson? Music went straight to find the person. But after arriving, he didn't find the person who wanted to teach him a lesson. So he called the person. Hello. Hi, is this Minju? Yes, it's me. Who is this? Ah, it's me. I'm Cha Music. I heard you wanted to find me and teach me a lesson, so I came here for you to teach me. Where are you? Music is speaking. Seeing Minzu, he hurriedly chased after him. At this moment, the other party was sitting in a restaurant. He asked him if he was Minzu. Yes, who are you? I'm Chamu X, I came here to meet you. Why are you running away? The one who wants to meet me is clearly you. As he spoke, he pulled out a gun and placed it under the tablecloth. Minzu was a little scared. It turned out that this man had only recently arrived in the Philippines, about a year ago. Music was forced to leave the Philippines, and Minzu only arrived a year ago. When Music wasn't in the Philippines, Jungpa recognized him as the boss. The reason he wanted to teach Music a lesson was simply due to his boastful nature, wanting to show off his authority in front of Jungpa. Now, seeing Music, he's trembling with fear. Let's see how he pretended initially. Before, in Cali's, there was a guy named Kai, right? Music, right? He and I were close friends, so why bring him to me? He needs a little lesson. I want you to bring him to me. What did Music do? Say, you arrogant bastard. Just do what I say, that's all. Why so much talk? The deadline is tomorrow night. Bring him in front of me. After hanging up, Jungpa asked him why he wanted to teach Music a lesson. He was too arrogant. On what basis did that arrogant bastard dare to disrespect everyone? Jungpa quickly made an excuse, saying he had something to do, then left with his friend because Jungpa knew what kind of person Music was. We knew Minzu would get into trouble. He looked at Muse and said it was all a misunderstanding. There was no need to resort to violence. But Muse told Minzu, even if I use this gun to shoot you dead right now, I'd just sit here and be free. No, I wouldn't even need to sit here, my friend. Calm down, have a drink first. Music smiled and called the waiter to bring him 2 glasses of wine, then asked Minzu to drink one. He told him to drink it all in one gulp. Actually, I already had a little too yesterday. Many of the guys are really weak, yet they're putting on airs like crazy. Looking at Minzu, who was gritting his teeth and groaning, he picked up his glass of wine and started drinking. Then he warned Minzu, telling him that in the Philippines he shouldn't underestimate others, otherwise he wouldn't know what would happen to him later. After this farce ended, he asked Minzu to find all the dealers in the casino within a year. He left the Philippines and handed the casino over to Jungpa to manage, but Jungpa was terrible. The casino business was about to be ruined by him because he liked to deduct points from other people's performance. None of these employees wanted to stay here anymore. Mu gave each of them some money and said they would increase their salaries. These people all admired Mu, so they all stayed and said they would work hard. But Sangdu was not happy at all because Mu had given money to all the agents, but he didn't receive a single penny. Sangdu didn't know that Mu treated him like a true brother. Waiting until evening, while the Korean police were stationed in the Philippines, Soong Hun was at home when suddenly someone knocked on the door. He pulled out his gun because when in the Philippines, one must be highly vigilant. After seeing someone knocking through the peephole, he opened the door. It was Sang-do. He came here to report Mu-zich because he had introduced his good friend Philip to the casino, but Philip and his girlfriend stole 100 billion. Finally, he didn't know who shot him. Sang-do always suspected Mu-zich because at the scene, Philip had a friend of Mu-zich's, so Sang-do thought that Mu-zich had requested the police to search his friend. In fact, Sang-do was also investigating this case, but Sang-do couldn't provide any concrete evidence. Kung-hun asked Sang to find evidence so that Mu-zich could be brought to justice. The next day, Mu-zich called Sang-do to his office and asked him to do something for him because he now considered Sang-do a close friend. That evening, Sang-do went to a restaurant and took away a surveillance hard drive. He then brought it to Mu-zich. Sang-do asked Mu-zich why he wanted it, and Mu-zich said he couldn't tell him yet because he hadn't found concrete evidence. Just as Sang-do was about to leave, Mu-zich stopped him. "You know I trust you a lot, right? It's been tough for you managing the casino lately. I considered you my successor. After this, I completely realized that Jung Pa has no talent for this job. Never be soft-hearted when running a casino in the Philippines. Mu-zich valued brotherhood too much, which is why Jung Pa betrayed him again and again. Jung Pa begged Mu-zich to save him because he had recently borrowed money from a friend, only to find out that friend was a wanted criminal. Mu-zich knew that Jung Pa had betrayed him, so he didn't want to talk to him. Suddenly, many police officers arrived and arrested Jung Pa. Jung Pa begged Mu-zich to save him. At this moment, he seemed to have forgotten how he had betrayed Mu-zich, but Mu-zich didn't show his face. He watched the police take Jung Pa away. The next day, as soon as Mu-zich entered the prison, the jailer led him into the cell. Jung Pa saw Mu-zich and started crying again, using emotional tactics. He begged Mu-zich to save him one last time, promising to live a decent and respectable life from now on. Pa said that if he could just rescue his friends, they would give him 20 billion in reward money. Mu-zich gave him a pack of Thang-long cigarettes and left. Pa thought that Mu-zich had completely given up on him, but he didn't know that that night Mu-zich went to find Daniel, hoping Daniel could rescue them. But Daniel said this time it was different because this friend of Jay Jumper was a criminal with a red notice wanted. This was very difficult to handle. Mu-zich told Daniel that he had initially promised him that even if he was scared, he would protect him. Let me meet whatever happens. Mu-zich said he's never killed anyone, and he wants to give Jumper this chance, hoping he can save them. If he saves them, what benefit will he get? He's my brother, that's all. Just as Mu-zich was about to leave, he asked MIC if he had investigated President Min's matter thoroughly. MIC said the investigation was going quite well. He knew who was behind the plot against him. Daniel asked if he wanted to kill that person, but Mu-zich said this matter might involve Daniel's subordinate. It turned out Mu-zich checked the surveillance system at the hotel. He found footage of Jingu's group and the intermediary who introduced them to the assassin, who was the mayor. The mayor was Daniel's subordinate. Daniel heard that the mayor was also involved, and he couldn't help but show a horrified expression. A few days later, Daniel's assassin came to Mu-zich and gave him a document. It turned out that Daniel had rescued Jung Pa and his friends. Soon after, the two of them went to Mu-zich. They were very grateful to Mu-zich for helping Jung Pa sincerely apologized, saying that he shouldn't have betrayed him before. He took out the documents after Jung Pa's friend opened them. Inside was a new identity card, a completely clean identity. Live a decent life from now on. Jung Pa, you too, big brother. Thank you, you damn guy. Why are you crying? You're not dead. This guy was very moved. He didn't expect Mu-zich to be so kind. Moreover, his abilities were not to be underestimated. He really saved him. Mu-zich told them to leave, but Jung Pa stayed. He said again that this friend had previously agreed to give him 20 billion in compensation, 20 billion something, as a thank you, which he had promised to pay back before. No need, he said. What do I need that money for? Mu-zich said, you saved them not for money, but because of the feelings between you and Jung Pa. Jung Pa was about to leave when Mu-zich called him back. Are you going to ask him to help transfer this 20 billion to me? Jung Pa said, even if I'm a bad person, I couldn't do that. Mu-zich believed his lie. We let him go. The boss just asked me what about the 20 billion he mentioned earlier. Of course, I'll give it to him, but it would be very embarrassing if the boss received the money directly. It seems he did it for the money, so he asked me to receive it and transfer it to him. No problem, I can give it directly to him. Dungpa said that Muzich asked me to take the money for the sake of his reputation. If you gave it to him directly, wouldn't that hurt Muzich's self-respect? This friend also believed what Dungpa said at that time. In a hotel, this girl is afraid of getting killed when Chairman Minute gets shot. She was the one who introduced the security guard. Now all the surveillance cameras in her hotel have been stolen. She knows for sure that Muzich did it, so she stayed in the hotel because she was afraid of Muzich's revenge. But suddenly someone knocked on the door. She asked who it was, but there was no answer. She quickly pulled out her gun and fired several shots at the door. When you go to a casino in the Philippines, no matter how much wealth you have, if you fall into the casino's trap, so your money is no different from casino money. This man is the owner of a large Korean company. A few months ago, he was introduced here to meet the owner of the music casino. At that time, he still had hundreds of billions in assets. But now he's like a dog. Just a few days ago, he went to Muchain to borrow money. Not only did he lose all his assets, but now his company has also been sold. He only wants to recover the money he lost. Now he's completely broke and wants to borrow another 1 billion from Muchain, but Muchain no longer treats him well. We are the same as before. Okay. But you have to write a promissory note. We are brothers. Why would we write a promissory note? Brotherhood between us? So what? You don't have a penny in your hand. On what basis should I lend you 1 billion? This is the reality. The unlucky billionaire seems to suddenly realize this, but he can't blame Muzich for setting a trap for him. The only thing to blame is that he couldn't stop himself. Initially, when he went to the casino to play, every time he could win tens of billions. It was greed that led him astray. At this point, Muzich asked him to write a promissory note, then told him, "Brother, no matter how good our relationship is, I'm still a businessman. If I don't get the money by the deadline, I don't know what I'll do to you." After saying that, he left because he was also in trouble. The underground emperor of the Philippines had come to see him. Daniel had helped Music before, but Music's good friend in the Philippines, Chairman Minute, had been arrested and imprisoned. He was the mayor. The mayor is Daniel's relative. Daniel told Music that he would help Music gain a stronger foothold in the Philippines later, but with one condition: he absolutely must not harm my family. Music knew Daniel was warning him not to seek revenge, so Music sought out Zedjo, Daniel's assassin. He had a very good relationship with Music, and when he heard that Music wanted to harm Mayor Du, he strongly resisted. I mean, why are you so determined to take revenge? Is Chairman Minute that important to you? Now, no, it's a problem because he's the mayor. Because I know what kind of person the mayor is. Next time he might try to harm me. Muzich knows the mayor is a treacherous scoundrel. Who knows? One day the mayor might even eliminate Muzich. Zed said he could help Mr. G. Lena is the one who helped Jinu and the consular staff introduce the inspector to Chairman Minute. They still don't know that Lena is hiding in a hotel right now. She has become a bird in a cage. A few days ago, when she heard that Muzich had returned to the Philippines from South Korea, she was too terrified. She sold her house and hid in a hotel every day. Suddenly, she received a message from the bank notifying her that someone had accessed her bank card statement. Lena knew something was wrong and hurriedly called Jinu to ask what she should do. Initially, Jinu gave Lena 200 million yen as a referral fee for her investigator, Rit Kai. To hire Chairman Minute, Lena gave her boyfriend 100 million yen to carry out the task. As a result, he went to the mayor and gave him 80 million yen. The mayor then hired an investigator for 20 million yen to Rit Kai, the chairman. Minute Jingu thinks Lena is being overly sensitive. It's just a bank notification, nothing strange. But they don't know that the police have received surveillance video sent by Seung Hun, which clearly shows the three of them discussing how to find the culprit. They plan to apprehend Lena first, but at this time, Ju led a team to the hotel where Lena was staying. However, they didn't find her. The next day, Seung Hun brought his colleagues to Lena's former residence and coincidentally met Mi. Seung Hun believes Lena is missing and Mi must have killed her. Then he warned Muzich not to let him get a hold of his tail. After saying that, he turned to leave, but suddenly he turned back. "Oh, right, Sang-do, when you're free, come find me, let's talk." Waiting until Seung Hun left, Music looked at Sang-do. He didn't know when Sang-do had become so close to the police. Muzich still didn't know. Sang-do was still helping the police catch him. Sang-do believed that Muzich had killed his friend Philip. He wanted to use the police to take down Muzich. Absolutely not. "You're talking too much, Music." The mayor finally got scared, but it was too late. Music warmed him up right there, making him scream with warmth. This was also the first time Music killed someone because the mayor had crossed the line. Chairman Minute was Music's best Englishman. When he first came to the Philippines, Chairman Minute was the one who helped him step by step to get to where he is today. But the mayor killed Chairman Minute even though Daniel had repeatedly warned Music not to touch his family, not to touch the mayor. The gang leader finally chose revenge. At this moment, the mayor's younger brother was preparing to flee. He knew that the gang leader would come to take revenge. As soon as he got into the car, he was subdued with guns. They were the gang leader's henchmen. This man called the gang leader, and the white-haired man answered the phone. The gang leader asked him where Lena was. He was so scared that he burst into tears, saying he didn't know either. Since the gang leader returned to the Philippines, Lena had sold the house and suddenly disappeared. The gang leader's men beat the white-haired man unconscious and took him away. At this moment, Jung Pa and Sang Du were sitting next to each other. Sang Du told Jung Pa, the main gang leader, Music has been secretly plotting against So Dung and Philip, hiding hundreds of trillions of dong in cash. So Dung is very angry. Even though So Dung betrayed him, he still loves So Dung very much. It's true that there are blind people all over the Philippines. They are Music's most trustworthy younger brothers. He treats them like his own brothers, helping them time and time again. Yet now the two of them are discussing how to eliminate Music, when Music is surrounded by enemies. At that moment, Daniel called Zed and asked if Zed had met the mayor yet, as he hadn't contacted him for many days. The mayor and his younger brother, the white-haired man, are also missing. Daniel suspects that Music killed them. He asks John to contact Music and tell him to come see him. After John leaves, he quickly contacts Music. "Hey brother, what the hell have you done?" "What do you mean?" "The mayor and his brother are missing. You did it, right?" "No," Music denies. He knows Daniel's power in the Philippines. He can trample on Music at any time. John asks Music to meet Daniel, but Music tells him John had some business in Korea and had to return. He realized something was wrong and suspected that Mu11 had definitely done something. After hanging up the phone, Music quickly contacted Jung Ba and told him that no matter who asked, he had to say that he was in Korea handling business. Soon after, Music returned to Korea. He had to go to avoid the storm. Music gathered the best juniors in Korea. At this time, Mu11 was very emotional. His two younger brothers, Junga and Sungju, were in the Philippines. Even though they were side by side, they had overcome the storm together. Even with all the thorns, they still betrayed him and his friends in Korea. Although they were outwardly friendly, he knew these people were very sincere to him. Now, his brothers, even to this day, his wife still hates me, right? 2GU, no way. It's been too long and now she can't do anything. Don't try to resolve everything smoothly. She must hate me very much. I understand my husband lost 400 billion and still had to go to court. And a brother like me fled abroad when Music and Jang were still doing business in Korea. For some reason, Du Wei Rang went to prison and lost all his money. He fled to the Philippines. This is a lifelong dilemma for him. He feels very sorry for his brother. At this time, in the Philippines, Du was sitting at Music's computer, trying to find some evidence. Suddenly, Du heard a noise downstairs. He followed the sound and found a basement. Du didn't know that Music also had a place like this. This is where Music deposited his money. He saw Jung Pa frantically smashing the iron gate with a sledgehammer because Jung Pa knew that Music's money was behind this iron gate. Smash open Music's secret bunker. Inside is full of cash. This is Music's savings from all these years. Now it's been stolen by two younger brothers. Dung Pa takes out 2 passports from inside, including surveillance video. That's the person who killed Kaiso. Dung and Philip have to do what next, you understand, right? Then go to Du, find Zhang Han, give him the 2 passports and surveillance video, and say that this evidence is enough to arrest Music. At this time, Music is in South Korea. He is introduced to a friend named Jang Jun. He is a businessman developing software to run an online gambling game. Jang Run said he had 600 billion in British pounds and wanted Music to help him launder money. Music demanded an 8% processing fee. Jang Run agreed on the spot. After they agreed on the location, Jang Run stood up and left, saying there was a £5 billion deposit on the seat. Not long after, Music brought his subordinates to the agreed location. Jang Run drove a supercar and a truck followed. They opened the car door. Inside, half the truck was filled with crates of apples. Music told his subordinates to check. He opened one crate of apples and confirmed they were delicious, fresh, and vibrant. But Music asked him to double-check. As his subordinates moved to the back, suddenly a crate of apples broke open, and a lot of counterfeit money fell out. At this point, Music realized he had been tricked. The gang leader quickly closed the car door. They locked Music's subordinates inside the car. Jang, trembling, gave a few instructions and left, but Music didn't faint. He picked up a stone, and when they weren't looking, he struck one of them with a blow. Then Music asked the remaining person who had instigated them. Not long after, Music arrived at an underground garage. It turns out that all the recent events were caused by the chairwoman. She was the one who sought out Jiang Run and asked him to teach Music a lesson. Music told the chairwoman, "I will take responsibility for your money, so don't do such childish things anymore." After saying that, he left. It seems he realized that taking the money was wrong. Later that evening, Daniel called Music. "Have you finished everything at home?" "I'm still handling it. I think there's definitely been a misunderstanding between us. Of course, I just wanted to have a conversation." "Of course, I understand. I already told John." At this time, John was almost beaten up by Daniel because he helped Music, Philip, and So Jung, then hid 100 billion for himself. Soon, Music returned to the Philippines. He thought Daniel wouldn't make things difficult for him, but as soon as he arrived at the airport, he contacted John because Daniel asked John to pick him up. But Music saw someone else next to Zed. He suddenly realized things weren't that simple. Music still didn't know that Daniel would never let him go because he was the casino emperor in the Philippines. Music didn't. Not only did he kill Daniel's relatives, but he also embezzled money from casino customers. This was something Daniel could not accept. Music hurriedly left, but at the same time, Zed saw him. Music immediately fled, getting into a taxi and luckily escaping danger. Afterwards, Music returned home to the Philippines. He intended to take the money and run away, but after going into the basement, he realized that all his savings had vanished. He then fled to a place only he knew, facing the sea, his heart filled with sadness. After many years living in the Philippines for the first time, he felt helpless. He even shed tears because this time he was truly finished. But Music was stubborn. He thought he could start over. Just then, someone called him. That person was Jiang Jun. Jiang Jun said he had also been to the Philippines and had heard about Music's reputation there. He wanted to start a business partnership with Music. Jiang Jun said he wanted to develop an online and offline gambling program where players could download online and offline gambling games. Controlled by software supervision, Jiang Jun told Music to handle the offline work, leaving the rest for himself and the two of them to split 50-50. Music was immediately interested after hearing this. He felt that this young man was truly a genius. After hanging up the phone, Music immediately contacted Jung Ba and told him to go to the casino to get 30 million Philippine dollars. "I hid it there. This is all the remaining money," he said. Music still didn't know that the savings hidden in his own house had been stolen by Dong Pa and Sang Du. The end of the casino has come, the casino owner in the Philippines. Because he trusted his subordinate too much, he ended up with such a tragic outcome. Music was hunted down by Daniel, and his money disappeared without a trace. He called Jung Pa and told Jung Pa to take the money he had hidden in his casino and send it to him. After hanging up, Jung Pa looked at the room full of money and gold. This was all the money he and Sang Du had stolen from Music's house, which they had divided equally. Jung Pa called Sang Du and told him to contact the police. Seung Hun was currently searching for Music. They told Seung Hun Music's location. Also asked him to arrest Music after hanging up the phone. Du gave the gun to Jung Pa, and the two of them would go find Music first. Du said to be prepared for any unforeseen circumstances. If Music discovered they had betrayed him, they should shoot him dead on the spot. Jung Pa felt very uncomfortable. After all, he had been with Music for decades. After getting into the car, Jung Pa put the gun in the car, and then the two of them drove to Music's location. At this time, John had just left the casino. He was chasing Music everywhere when suddenly he saw Seung Hun and the police. Panicked, he rushed out of the casino. Knowing they were also looking for Music, he quietly followed them. At this moment, Music had just finished preparing a table of food and was waiting for Jung Pa and Sang Du. He still didn't know that he had been betrayed by his two closest friends. Music also took out a CD. This was his and Jung Pa's favorite song. Both of them had worked hard from nothing to get to where they were now. Their favorite time was sitting in the car and listening to this song. Music turned on the music while waiting for Jung Pa to arrive. He decided to use the remaining money to start a new life with Jung Pa. It all started again. Suddenly, a car sped towards them. Music pulled out his gun, but seeing it was Jung Pa and Sangu, he breathed a sigh of relief. Music asked why Sangu was also here. "Boss, you have a lot of money. Going alone is dangerous, so I told Sangu to come along." Then he called the two into Music's room and prepared a pair of bowls and chopsticks. They saw Music living in such a dilapidated place and couldn't help but feel uneasy. After all, they had followed Music for many years. Music told them, "I'm being hunted by Daniel. I will hand over. The casino is back for the two of you." Then he will find another project himself, telling them to wait for the day he rises again. But at this moment, Soong Hun and the police have arrived. They are wearing body armor, and both silently approach the house. At this moment, Sang-do tells Music that because he has a conflict with Daniel, he should go back to Korea. The boss is back, and then what? Is there someone to support me there? Probably just as they were talking, Soong Hun arrived at the door. Sang-do saw them, but Music caught Sang-do's eye. Feeling danger, Music turned around. He looked over again. Although he couldn't see anyone, he knew for sure they were hiding something from him. He glared angrily. "Don't move, man. Don't move. Hands up. Don't move. We are going to arrest you now for aiding and abetting the murder of Kim So-young." Music and Philip looked at Jung Pa with questioning eyes. Jung Pa also looked confused. Suddenly, it turned out Zed had arrived. The Philippine police were on the spot. Soong Hun was also injured. Music and Soong Hun were both shot. He looked over. Although he didn't know what was happening, he still pulled out his gun and shot because of Soo Music's gun. Music picked up Ung Hun's gun and went to Do Kai's place. Music stood up and walked toward Zed. "Brother, live well," he said. "Wait until Zed is gone." Music turned his head and looked. Ung Hun was also shot and fell to the ground, but his life was not in danger. Dung Pa crawled out from under the table. Music walked towards him, then he raised his gun. Music really wanted to kill this scoundrel with one shot. But Dung Pa looked at him and said, "Brother, it's not me." Music still chose to trust him. Then he asked Jung Pa to get the money and said, "Let's hurry. Get out of here immediately." Jung Pa got into the car first, walked to the passenger seat, but as soon as he opened the door, Junga shot him straight in the head. He was trapped in this place. Jung Pa took the money and fled. Months passed in the blink of an eye. Soong Hun also returned to Korea. That day, the boss came to find him and said that another super casino had appeared in the Philippines, and the owner was still Korean. At this time, in a casino in the Philippines, Jiang Jun was the owner. Suddenly, someone came to the casino. This person was Jiang Jun's partner and also his boss. At the same time, this guy was also a good friend of Mu back then, but is just like Dung, an ungrateful person who only wants to take all of Mu's money. He told Jang, "Wait a little while, a big boss will be coming here. I heard he's the owner of a casino in Las Vegas." While talking, the big boss appeared. Yes, it's Jung Pa, the ungrateful one. The casino movie ends here with a terrible ending. To be honest, there might be a third season. Does anyone have a vivid imagination and can provide everyone with plot details for season 3? Ours hello and see you again in the next videos.